You're listening to the official start of your NFL week. You're listening to the opening whistle. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the opening whistle. I'm Albert Albanese.
I'm Avi Schiffman.
And we're here to break down Wildcard Wednesday and give our predictions on who's going to win the next set of playoff games. Of course, if you want to follow us on Twitter, we're at The Slam Sessions. And if you want to follow Avi on Twitter, he's Avi Schiffman 88. And be nice to him. It's his first. He's new on Twitter. So
be nice to me, please. I should have been on Twitter before, but
now you got a show, so now you have to be on Twitter.
Yeah,
it's kind of the rule.
I'm gonna tweet things.
Tweet and retweet things. That's what you do. All right, so let's get right into it. We're gonna start off with the AFC. We're gonna go start off with the Steelers versus the Dolphins. And did we give the Dolphins much of a chance in this one?
No, we really. I didn't expect the Dolphins to be there at all, honestly. But they started off with Antonio Brown with 2 big touchdowns, and I think that the game was over within the first 10 minutes of the game, the first quarter. I think Matt Moore is a good backup, but the game was really over in the first 10 minutes.
I mean, and not for nothing, that Bud Dupree hit that Matt Moore took.
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he got blasted.
I mean, how did he not go through concussion protocol after that and not come up?
I thought he did go through concussion protocol. He didn't.
How did he not? If he did, how did nothing show up?
I don't know. That guy. That was one of the hardest hits I've ever seen.
I've never seen a human being get creamed that bad.
And it was a dirty. I don't like seeing that. That was a dirty hit.
It was.
The Steelers seem to be doing that a lot. That was dirty. I don't know how he came in there. I respect him for coming back in. He's a tough guy, clearly, to take that hit because I'd be dead on the floor. I would not get up after that.
I wouldn't have came back in the game.
There's no way. But I don't know who's their. Oh, their backup was Yates, TJ Yates.
TJ Yates.
When I saw him, I'm like, oh my God, he's their third string. But he came back in. He did a good job. Ryan Tannehill, I don't think would have made much of a difference. It could have been a closer game, but they weren't winning in Pittsburgh in that game. They don't have the experience, and the better team won. The team at home won. Big Ben, Le'Veon, Antonio Brown, they took care of business.
Speaking of Le'Veon Bell, 167 yards. I mean, how dominant of a player is he?
He's one of the best players in football. How many guys can run the ball like he does, hit those holds, spread out wide, catch the ball. We haven't really seen a player like him, I don't think, ever.
And what amazes me is the Steelers defense showed up. Jay Ajayi, he had 33 yards, a complete non-factor. I mean, that's a really big plus for the Steelers going up against, in their next round playing a team like the Chiefs.
Yeah, Jay Ajayi, he had a huge game against the Steelers early, and they were at home. And then they had time to game plan. They figured him out, and they did a great job, their defense, the Steelers, to shut him down. They really did. And if Jay Ajayi didn't have a big game, they weren't winning anyway.
Well, I mean, that was their main offensive weapon without their starting quarterback.
Jarvis Landry he had a big game. Jarvis Landry's really good. I haven't really watched him that much in his career. He's really good.
He's supremely talented. I mean, if maybe he has a really good connection with Tannehill.
He played with Odell, right, in college?
He did.
They're good friends, yeah.
Yeah, they're really good friends. They both played together in college.
He might be better than Odell. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later.
I'm going to piss off a lot of Giants fans on this podcast. That not one Giants fan is going to listen to this podcast between me and you. And how
I
much
have a lot to say about Odell.
All right. So we see how the Steelers handily defeated the Dolphins. The Dolphins look completely outmatched. AB and Big Ben working their magic. We look forward to this coming week. We have the Chiefs versus the Steelers. We got Bell, Ben, and Brown. You think the 3B is going to be contained?
I think that it's going to be a really close game. I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I do. I think these two teams have high-powered offenses. They do. They can break out. I just think, we don't know how the weather's going to be. I just see everybody thinks it's going to be a shootout. I don't see it that way. I think more it's going to be in the low 20s, one of that type of game.
Well, it has that potential. The Chiefs have a really good playmakers: Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Jeremy Maclin. It's upsetting that Spencer Ware hasn't played up to the caliber that I think everybody expected him to. Especially, I think they really do miss Jamal Charles, but it does have shootout ability.
It does, but usually when you think there's a shootout, people think there's going to be a shootout. It's usually not. It's more of a defensive battle. And Chiefs have a really good defense. They do.
They do.
And And Big Ben, he took a shot at the end of the game. I don't know how. He's definitely not 100%.
He was in a walking boot.
He's in a walking boot, but he's tough. He's going to play.
He'll definitely play.
I just see the Steelers' defense is okay. I just see it being like a low 20s. It could be a defensive battle. It's going to be a close game.
And
it will be.
I tend to agree with you because when you hear the word shootout, you don't exactly think of Alex Smith being the other quarterback in a shootout.
No, definitely not. But he has that. He has
playmakers.
He has plenty of playmakers. Tyreek Hill is that guy when he has the ball. It could be a touchdown.
And Travis
every
Kelce.
Time. Travis Kelce too. Yeah, he's awesome.
All right, so then let's put you on the hot seat. Steelers or Chiefs? Who are you taking?
I said that I thought the Steelers have a best chance to beat the Patriots. I don't believe in the Chiefs. I don't believe in Alex Smith. I just think that the experience with their playmakers. I'm taking the Steelers because they've been there before. Big Ben. That's really going. I'm going with the Steelers in a close game. I'm going to go with the Steelers.
Well, our first set of predictions and our first disagreement. I've been saying this entire time, the Chiefs are the sneakiest team in the playoffs, and I really do believe in the Chiefs. I think that they have the ability to win, especially being at home against the Steelers team that played last week. Everybody on their team's gonna have fresh legs. Alex Smith is had an extra week to rest his legs. We know how he's a big runner. I think the Chiefs, this may be the upset. I know the Chiefs should be coming in as the favorites, but I think everybody kind of just expects the Steelers to win. I think this could be the upset this week.
But they're also at home, the Chiefs, so you got to give them the advantage there. I'm not 100% certain on the Steelers. I'm just going with the experience in this. It's going to be a close game. Like, this is a really hard game to predict because it could be a shootout. It could be a defensive game. It could be Chiefs get on a roll, get up early, really get up 14-0 early, and then they can't recover. But I'm going to go with the Steelers because I also want to see that championship game with the Patriots and the Steelers. It's not going to be the Texans. I mean, we could talk about that after. But
yeah, well, we'll talk about that right now. Texans win 27-14. Derek Carr obviously was supremely missed in this game. Connor Cook was out. I mean, how big of a difference do you think that is? There's a lot of drop passes in that game.
Yeah, Connor Cook. Listen, it's tough to be a rookie and go in his first career start as a rookie to go into in a playoff game. If Derek Carr was there, they would have beaten the Texans. Brock Osweiler, I think, probably has his best game of the year, surprisingly. But the Texans, I thought they would beat the Raiders at home against a rookie. Let me ask you, if Brock Osweiler put up a stinker in this game, what do you think? Is he done there? If he put up a stinker in this game against a rookie, let's say he had a terrible game.
I can't see how.
You think he saved his job by this game?
I think this game absolutely saved his job.
It's pretty sad, but
big playoff win. I mean, here's the thing. I predicted the Texans to win last week just specifically because I knew that Derek Carr wasn't going to play. I thought this was going to really break out to being a ground battle between Lamar Miller and Latavius Murray. Here's the thing, though. Brock Osweiler played well enough to do what he needed to do. And he won a playoff game. And I don't know if Texans fans can forget everything. I mean, look at the dime Osweiler pisses me off. He really does, because look at the dime he dropped into DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, that was a beautiful pass. Where is that guy all the time?
I understand why he throws the ball so low sometimes. He's 6'8". You know how he throws the ball right into the lineman's head. I don't know why he does that.
I mean, you see a guy like I'm a Jets fan, so I'll make this comparison. Ryan Fitzpatrick gets, his pass is knocked down all the time. Ryan Fitzpatrick's short. Brock Osweiler is a huge
6'8"
guy.
He's the tallest quarterback ever. Yeah.
How many times do you see Brady's passes get tipped at the line?
It does piss me off.
Barely ever. And Osweiler's taller than him.
Yeah. He had a good – listen, it's like any quarterback. They come in for a few games, like Kirk Cousins. You come in for – a guy gets hurt, you come in for 7 games and you play well, you're going to get a big contract the next year. That's what always happens, right? And then they usually do not pan out. Right?
Yeah.
Look at Fitzpatrick. Look at Fitzpatrick this year. I really thought I knew he was going to have a bad year. I really knew it. Listen, the Jets, I guess they had no choice, but I still thought they should have stayed away from him.
I mean, they really didn't have a choice, and they had a really bad schedule too.
They should have stayed. I don't know who they could have gotten. They should have stayed away from him, I think. But Fitzpatrick's done in New York.
Oh, absolutely.
He's done.
He's never going to. I don't think he'll start another NFL game.
They gave away a season. I don't know. They could have played Geno maybe for the year. I know Geno's bad. Bryce Petty. Listen, the Jets need something. They need, I don't know, it just never works out with them with the quarterbacks.
Sad.
Are they going to draft a quarterback this year?
Probably, because that's what they do every year.
Yeah,
and everybody's already talking about how Christian Hackenberg's not ready. So that's just really fun. Well, we're talking about the AFC, so let's go with the team to beat in the playoffs, the AFC East champion New England Patriots. Osweiler's going to get the start in this.
16-point favorite.
16-point favorites. I mean, it's unbelievable. They
That might-
27-0 for their first meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, do we even give?
And that was with Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we give the Texans, I mean, the smallest shred of a chance?
Give me the scenario. How they beat them, Albert. Give me a scenario where the Texans beat the Patriots.
Hell freezes over. That is
Really?
it. I mean, look, no J.J. Watt. Their defense played really well against the Raiders, but they played against a Raiders team that was already in shambles. I don't.
Listen, Texans want to get to the Super Bowl. They want to go to their home stadium. It's in Houston this year. They want to get there. They have a lot of motivation. They got to get through Tom Brady.
My wife and one of my best friends are huge Patriots fans, and after the Texans won this week, I congratulated both of them on having 2 byes in the playoffs.
Yeah, they really had 2 byes.
It's-
They just had a free ticket to the championship game,
It's really
which we really
sad.
thought they would anyway. But if the Raiders, the Raiders had Derek Carr, they played them. This it'd be a different story right now.
This would be a
talking
fun
something
game to
different.
watch.
That would be a fun game to watch. This game, I have no interest in watching. The game's going to be over at midway through the second quarter.
And the sad thing is that the Patriots, we can't even highlight all their strengths because it doesn't even make sense. I mean, they have their playoff pedigree. They have the best coach. They have the best quarterback. I mean, there's just nothing in. There's nothing.
And their
that I
defense
can come
always
up with.
shows up in the
They always-
playoffs.
They always do.
Always show up. This is what's going to happen. Let me tell you what's going to happen. They're going to score. They're going to be up like 28-0 in the second quarter, right? Brady's going to have like 4 touchdowns. And then it's going to be at the end of the game, they're going to have some garbage points. They're going to score a few touchdowns in the fourth quarter. It's going to be like 42-14, something like that.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction.
Okay.
We're both picking the Patriots to win this game.
Would you take the Texans if they were Texans plus 28? Would you take the Patriots minus 28 if they were 28? Honestly, 20. Give me 24.
My final score for this game is 37-0.
37-0. So
That's
you
my
would take the
prediction.
minus 24.
37-0 Patriots.
Okay.
That's how bad I think that the Texans are and how good I think the Patriots are.
Yeah. Listen, the Texans every year, like they're winning a bad division.
It's the weakest division of football.
If they had a quarterback too, they never had a quarterback. If they had a good quarterback too, they'd be different. And J.J. Watt, it's a different story without him. But
Yeah.
Jadeveon Clowney is playing.
He's playing
great.
great.
I'm happy to see him play well.
Yeah.
The number 1 pick. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Patriots, right?
God, it's so tough. But yeah, I guess I'll go with the Patriots.
Yeah, I'll go with the Patriots too. Why not?
Let's move over to the NFC. Seattle beating the Lions 26-6. Offensive and defensive dominance by Seattle. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Seattle at home in the playoffs, they're tough to beat, and they played a team who ended the season horribly. The Lions, they played a team in the Cowboys who had nothing to play for. They had the 1 seed locked up. I'm happy to see the Cowboys do what they did. I'm happy to see them play their stars the whole way. They really that was big for them to do that. And Matthew Stafford had an opportunity. At home, they go home for the division Sunday night game, which I thought it was going to be, and I thought that Aaron Rodgers would play well and they would win the Packers, and they did.
And they did.
But they got lucky. They're lucky to be in the playoffs. The Redskins blew their opportunity big time. All they had to do was win a game at home against the Giants, and they couldn't do it. So the Lions were lucky to be in, and listen, they deserve to be out of the playoffs.
I mean, I feel bad for the Lions. Matt Stafford's played really well. I feel bad that Theo Riddick got hurt. Zach Zenner and Dwayne Washington played really well in his absence, but Theo Riddick's a really big piece of that offense, a big playmaker that they lost. They went out and they got Marvin Jones, who shined in the beginning of the season and then just slowly faded into obscurity. Golden Tate played really bad in the beginning of the season, and slowly his stock started to rise, but he's not the player I think they thought they were. How bad did they miss Megatron? I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, you didn't think they really missed him that much in the beginning of the year. You didn't think they missed him that much, but yeah, they miss him, and Eric Ebron had a bad game.
Yeah.
A few games.
Absolutely.
He's a real talent, but I don't know. He didn't seem like he didn't show up in the big moment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say more about the Lions, really. I mean, it's one of those teams that I don't want to see fail. I like them. I like Matt Stafford. Look, I don't want to like Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford, I have a personal vendetta against Matt Stafford for costing me fantasy leagues for 2 years. But
He's got so much. He's got all the potential in the world.
he does.
But he's played for so long. There's no excuses anymore.
Yeah.
He's a gunslinger. Like, But he's not Tom Brady. He's not Big
Brett
Ben.
Favre.
He's in the second, third tier of quarterbacks.
You throw out the word gunslinger, you think Brett Favre. He's nowhere near that caliber of a quarterback.
No, but he's got the potential. He really does. Did you watch that Packers-Lions game?
Yeah.
Do you see that throw he made on 3rd and I think 18 to what's his name? There's another number 13. I forgot his name. Jones. It might be another Jones. He made a big throw on the 3rd down and 18. And they kept him in the game. Like, he has that potential. He made a great throw right in stride.
All those fourth quarter comebacks
And he didn't show up at the end.
It's sad. It really is.
But he went against Aaron Rodgers, he's not on that level, obviously, either. Not even close.
And let's face it, he went against Russell Wilson last week, and he's not on that level either.
No, not at all.
Thomas Rawls, how big was that?
Listen, he's got a little Marshawn Lynch in him.
He does.
He's got a burst of speed. He's tough. He's a guy, I don't know, their running back situation all year was a little.
Christian Michael was their number one. Then Rawls went out hurt. CJ Prosise came in. They've been really. It's really big to see that they got their running game going in the playoffs because this is huge for them. This is one of their biggest components, especially with Russell Wilson still not 100%.
Right. Well, Thomas Rawls, Thomas Rawls is a big part of their team. They need a running game, and I just want to see their offensive guy. Doug Baldwin's always good. Jimmy Graham, I want to see more from Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham.
He been?
He didn't have.
He got hurt. I think he got hurt in this game. He got hurt.
I think so. They need Jimmy Graham to step up. Jermaine Kearse, Tyler Lockett.
Let's be honest. Jimmy Graham really hasn't done much since he got to Seattle.
Well, no. He broke out against the Jets in Week 4, and he played really well. Everybody breaks out against the Jets, but he played really well after that.
Right.
Russell Wilson kind of,
But he's a real threat. He's a guy that really, if he was anywhere near Jimmy Graham of the Saints,
oh yeah,
they're a scary team.
Absolutely.
But he hasn't gotten to that level yet.
I don't think so either. I don't think we can mention this game without mentioning that Paul Richardson catch. Holy crap.
Yeah, that was a sick catch.
That was unbelievable.
And yeah, it might have been, listen, in the heat of the moment, you blame the refs. Did you see him grab his face mask at the time, or you're just looking at the catch?
No, I was looking at the catch. Who's looking at anything? Honestly, who else is looking at anything else but where that ball's going?
Yeah.
And look, it should have been at worst an offsetting penalty.
Yeah.
At worst.
That's a sick catch.
Look, we can sit here and talk about the refs all we want, but the line source 26-6. All the missed calls that we talk about, I don't think would have even made a difference. I don't think the line
would not have made a difference at all. They had no chance to beat Seattle in Seattle. They had no chance. I agree. And listen, they lost 2 in a row. They didn't even deserve to be in the playoffs. They had their opportunity, and they didn't take advantage of it.
This game would have been a lot more interesting if it was the Bucs instead.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, no, I don't know about that. But yeah, I'm happy to see. Listen, I just want to see Stafford do something.
I agree.
They have the talent. They can do it. But going to Seattle's really tough. You know that.
Well, speaking of going somewhere, Seattle's going to have to be the one traveling now. They're going to play in the Battle of the Birds against the Falcons. Matt Ryan is on fire. Can you think he can beat that Seahawks D at home?
Well, because they're at home and they have an explosive offense, and they're at home, they're pretty much unstoppable this year. And he's an MVP candidate. And Seattle's not the same team on the road as they are at home.
I agree.
All the signs tell me that the Falcons are going to win this game. Seattle's got the experience, Russell Wilson, but they're not the same team.
Well, you picked Seattle to go to
the
championship.
But that was me thinking that they would be the 2 seed. But now that it's not that way, I'm going to have to change my thinking. Honestly, my head's telling me that it's going to be the Falcons beating the Seahawks, and they can beat them. They can beat them by 2 touchdowns, I think. Seattle has shown, listen, last year they got lucky in Minnesota with the Blair Walsh missing a chip shot. They're not the same team on the road, and they're going against an explosive offense. They don't have Earl Thomas. All the signs tell me the Falcons are going to beat them handily.
Well, that's a big note that I made, that no Earl Thomas. But the other big story coming out is Sherman going to shadow Julio Jones? And if he does, what
honestly,
kind of an impact does that
in
make?
That scenario, I'm taking Julio over anybody, honestly, in the league.
He's been...
Sherman's great, but I would take Julio. He'll make a couple big catches in this game. I hope he shows up. I hope Matt Ryan shows up, because I have my own... Listen, first, we're going to see who wins that game. That game's a Saturday game. The Cowboys play at 4:30. So I think the Falcons are going to beat the Seahawks.
Well, remember, Seattle won 26-24 in their first meeting.
That was in that, and they also, I think there was some missed call or something. They got screwed in that game. The Falcons. That was in Seattle.
Yep.
This game's in Atlanta in the playoffs against an MVP candidate.
Yes, Matt Ryan's been playing out of his mind.
Best offense in the league.
But Matt Ryan he doesn't show up sometimes when the game's on the line, and we've seen that Russell Wilson's been proven to do that.
I agree. Just like the opposite, I just think Atlanta. They're gonna listen. The Seahawks on the road this year are bad. I don't see their numbers. They're bad on the road this year. They're not the same team at all, and they're missing Earl Thomas. Julio's gonna have some breakout for some big touchdowns this week.
All right. Well, I mean, your pick. I guess this is our.
I predicted the Seahawks, but that was thinking that they would be the 2 seed. I did, but now that it's not, Falcons look good. They had the rest, but yeah, I could see them losing also because they haven't done it before. But my head's telling me it's going to be the Falcons.
I'm going to go the other way.
10 points.
I'm going to go the other way.
Okay.
I think Seattle's. And it's going to be eerily similar. I think I'm seeing like something like a 26-24 win. Seattle sneaks out and something out. Maybe kicks a late field goal.
Maybe I'm not giving Seattle enough overtime. Maybe I'm not giving Seattle. You're right. Maybe I'm not giving Seattle enough credit.
I just think that the only reason why I predict Seattle. I think that Seattle would win because if this was a regular season game and it was in Atlanta, I would pick the Falcons. But because it's a playoff game, because Russell Wilson's been there before, because Doug Baldwin tends to show up in these big games, because their defense always shows up big in these big games, even without Earl Thomas, I don't ever want to be the guy who bets against the Seahawks.
Just remember also the Falcons have a defense. They can rush the passer. They can rush the passer. And their coach, Dan Quinn, former defensive coordinator for the Seahawks, he knows them pretty well.
It's a very good point.
Yeah, it's got potential to be. This could be a great game.
This is going to be the most fun game to watch. I mean, out of any game, I think this is the biggest.
Well, there's another game in the NFC that's going to be pretty fun to watch. I think.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They're both going to be good games. But I'm going to go with Atlanta.
And I'm going to go with Seattle.
All right. Wow.
All right, so that brings us to the last wild card weekend game. Packers beating the Giants 38-13. Aaron Rodgers 362 yards, 4 touchdowns. Randall Cobb 116 yards, 3 touchdowns. Showed up big. No, Jordy Nelson gets hurt and they still roll.
You see that hit he took? He broke 2 ribs.
Oh my God! And they're saying he's still going to try to play. I mean, the guy's out of his mind.
Yeah. Listen. Either way, if he doesn't play, it's good. If he does play, he's not going to be at full strength. He's not going to be Jordy Nelson. Listen, I knew after the Lions lost, I knew the Cowboys would play the Packers or the Giants. I sat watching with my dad. I sat with the game. I wasn't rooting for anybody. I said I would rather play the Giants. I was really hoping we played the Giants more. I did not want to play Aaron Rodgers, especially after what he did. But I'm not like petrified about it. It's Rodgers is on a tear. He's scary.
He's unbelievable.
But they took over that game in the second half, and Rodgers. That Hail Mary killed the Giants. Yeah. That was sick.
Which is becoming Aaron Rodgers' favorite play.
Were you surprised? That ball went right behind the defenders. How did that?
I have no idea.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. Is it that hard to defend a Hail Mary?
I don't know. I mean, we've seen a
the
couple.
The ball just went right into his.
We've seen a couple really big ones. Aaron Rodgers throwing a couple himself. The one from Andy Dalton to AJ Green. Like there's been a couple really big Hail Marys this year.
That really. And it was a few years ago when the Giants beat the Packers in Green Bay. The same thing happened.
Yeah,
they had the Hail Mary. So you know what? It came back to bite them. It was a game for a little bit, but Aaron Rodgers just was Aaron Rodgers and took over. And I was just watching the game. I wasn't rooting for anybody, but I'm nervous to play. I would have rather play the Giants, but listen, the Giants were a flawed team all year. I didn't think they were that good. People were saying, "Oh, the Giants are going to make that run." I didn't see it happening.
Well,
this year.
Here's my big thing, and this is where Giants fans are just going to absolutely never listen to this podcast ever again. From a Cowboys fan and a guy who hates this team, Odell Beckham Jr. is quite possibly one of the most talented receivers in football. I think his biggest problem right now, besides somehow coming into a playoff game with hands of stone. I mean, how
did you love Joe Buck bringing out the fact about the Miami trip? You know that was going to be brought up,
but it has nothing to do with.
I know, but it's great. It's great to bring it up because people are going to blame it on it. Listen, he didn't show up. Listen, he should have caught. He dropped 2 big balls. That throw by Eli was a little over his head, but he should have caught that ball. He's one of the best receivers in the league. He should have caught that ball.
Guy catches balls with one hand and he can't catch anything with 2.
Okay, I'm sick of hearing about Odell. I always said he's a great receiver. He's great. but I always thought he's overrated as a superstar. I don't know. He's a little overrated. You know what I mean?
If he didn't play in New York, I don't think he'd get as much publicity.
No,
I mean,
of course not.
Look
And
at
I
Antonio
said-
Brown.
right.
Antonio Brown is a better receiver, but who gets more
absolutely.
coverage? Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah,
does.
it's in New York because he does it to himself. He does it to himself. He does, look at me, look at me. He does his dances. He kisses whatever, the goalpost, the net, kicking net. I'm sick of him. He's got he's got all the talent in the world. Listen, I thought Des Bryant was a head case. But you know what? He's a veteran now. He's calmed down. He knows that.
Brandon Marshall was the same way when he was younger.
Right.
I mean, a lot of these guys.
I didn't even think about it. Brandon Marshall's never been in the playoffs.
Never been in the playoffs.
That's incredible to me.
Sad.
I don't know how that happened. That's just unlucky. I don't think it's because of him.
No,
He just
it's
got
unlucky. He's been on bad teams.
It's pretty crazy if he went his whole career without making the playoffs. But Odell, he's gotta stop the nonsense. I always said that one catch he had against the Cowboys made him into this. If he did not have that catch, he would not be. You know what I mean?
I agree.
It's that catch. That catch made him what he is right now.
I honestly think the Giants have a bigger problem. What do you do with Eli Manning? Eli is not.
I'll admit
Eli.
it now. Right. But it was not his fault they lost this game.
No. This game, no.
He
not
actually
at all.
played pretty well.
He did. But
I'll be honest. Listen, I think Eli's done. I think he's over the hill. But he played well.
He did.
They dropped a couple touchdowns. Sterling Shepard dropped one.
I said it last week. I said that they always have a puncher's chance because Eli knows how to play in the playoffs. But does he even get them there next year? I just look. I'm not trying to be a guy that harps on the Giants because I don't like the Giants. It's not even a Giants team. I don't like the Giants. I don't like Giants fans. It's just me personally. I'm a Jets fan.
You're not the only one.
I'm a Jets fan. You're a Cowboys fan. We're gonna, they probably hate us too, and it's fair. But I mean, I'm generally concerned for that team next year because if Eli does not play well next year, they are gonna have to start preparing for the rest of their tenure without Eli
Listen,
Manning.
I guarantee you that the Giants are wishing that they were in the Cowboys' position from last year. You know what they did with Dak. They're hoping they get a Dak-type player.
And they might have to.
Right. I think they're going to go quarterback. Ryan Nassib's obviously not their future.
No, of course not.
But Eli's just never missed the game, so they really never had to really have a quarterback.
No, they barely even had.
But they're going to have to start looking towards the future. He's in the, I don't know, in the Romo, who's better right now, Romo or him at this point. But they're going to have to start looking eventually.
Yep.
Is it this year? We'll see.
Well, I mean, let's get to the biggest game for you. 30-16 in their first meeting, Packers and Cowboys. But that was not the Aaron Rodgers playing right now.
I was talking about it right now. You're just bringing it up. I'm getting all tense. I can't. I am waiting for this moment. I haven't seen the Cowboys in a championship game since I've been a fan. So it's been 20 years since they've been to the championship game. And then we have to go against Aaron Rodgers. Of course, it's going to be tough. We go against hot Aaron Rodgers now. I'm nervous.
It's a veteran Aaron Rodgers versus a rookie in Dak Prescott. Do you think that really makes a lot of difference?
No, I don't. I think Dak's got the it factor. I was high on him all year long. He's done it. I don't think the moment's too big for him. He had all the time to prepare. He knew he was going to play the Packers or the Giants. He knows them. They're going to throw up a good game plan, I'm sure. Ezekiel Elliott he's going to be Ezekiel Elliott, I think. They had all this time to prepare. They're going to be fresh. I think their offense is going to be right on point where they were against the Lions. I think they're at home. But Aaron Rodgers he's so scary when he gets out of the pocket.
Do you think the Dallas defense is even prepared for what Aaron Rodgers can do? Because the guy was holding the ball for 8 seconds and launching the ball down the field last week.
It was insane. Yeah. It's like Tom Brady. Tom Brady gets that time. But when he gets out of the pocket, it's scary. It's going to be tough for the Cowboys defense, but Jordy Nelson's a big loss for them.
He is. He is.
Devontae Adams, but you can't make up for Jordy Nelson. You cannot fill in for him. Devontae Adams is very good, and Randall Cobb is good. They have great receivers. But the Cowboys really have to match them. They're going to have to get off to a hot start, the Cowboys. If they do not, they have to get off to a hot start. You win the coin toss, the Cowboys got to take the ball. I'm just telling you right now.
The key to this game is how well Ezekiel Elliott is going to play, because I know that everybody is going to be looking at Dak Prescott and they're going to be thinking, "Oh, the game's going to fall on his shoulders." If Ezekiel Elliott they can dictate a good running game, and Ezekiel Elliott can do what Ezekiel Elliott does every week, the Cowboys honestly have a great chance of winning this game.
It'll be a relief early on in the game. We'll see how Elliott does. If he hits those holes, if he breaks some 8-10 yards runs, a few of those, then I'll start feeling good. Dak has just got to listen. The moment's not going to be too big for him. This is a different Cowboys team.
You've been saying this all year.
Yeah, Romo is not there. Listen, I love Romo.
Is Romo suiting up?
Yeah, he's the
He is?
backup. Oh yeah.
I read. I've kind of sworn like last week or something. I read that they weren't even going to pursue him up for the playoffs.
Oh really? No,
Yeah.
no, he's their backup. He's got it. Mark Sanchez is going to come in if he gets hurt.
Oh my God! Let me tell you something, and this is going to be like completely off the topic. I want the Cowboys to win so bad, so that Mark Sanchez can have
I know this is going
a Super Bowl ring before the Jets. Just because I think it would be absolutely hysterical.
And
that
Romo
Mark
too.
Sanchez
Romo too.
will have a Super. No, I'm just the Jets organization in general. They dumped Sanchez, and they're like, oh no, we're gonna find somebody better than this bum, and then he winds up being on a team that goes to the Super Bowl. Nothing would make me happier. I wanted Sanchez to start for the Broncos because I thought the Broncos had such a good chance this year of making it to the Super Bowl with their defense. He's really a terrible quarterback, but I love him.
Yeah, but he's been to the championship game. I give him
He
that.
has. He has.
The more championship games than Tony Romo.
Yeah, and that's scary to think.
Yeah, 2. Yeah, he's been to 2 more.
Yeah,
He's won how many? 6 playoff games?
Yeah. No, he's won 4 playoff
4 playoff games.
He's won 4 playoff games. Been to 6. I mean,
That's 2 more than Romo.
It's
But
weird
listen,
to think.
I love Romo. I hate this scenario. I hate that this is going on. I'm happy to see the Cowboys do well, but I think Dak he has it. The moment's not too big for him. I'm telling you this all year. And Zeke, I hope he shows up. He has that offensive line. They're healthy. They're getting some big players back this week, Maurice Claiborne and Crawford. And David Irving. Have you watched this guy?
He's unbelievable.
David Irving? It's another guy that just came out of nowhere. He's 6'9". He's wreaking havoc. I hope he does it. He can get there against Rodgers. The Cowboys' defense is better than people think. They're having a very good year.
They are.
They're not like they used to be the Cowboys with Rob Ryan, whoever their coordinator. Rob Marinelli's done a great job. Sean Lee is one of the best linebackers in football.
Absolutely.
One of the best defensive players in football. They've been
be
underrated.
Fine. They've been underrated this entire season. Everybody's just talking
and they're
about,
healthy. And they're healthy. They're healthier than most teams.
And that's a big thing. The bye week for them, for Dak not to play, the last week of the season, for them to have just
Dak wasn't going to Miami, like some people.
For
the weekend. He was probably studying like he always did all year, and that's why he had such a big season.
And you know what? I think that this, for me, that plays really well into the Cowboys in this game. So, I mean, we're in Dallas. Who wins?
Obviously, I hate picking my Cowboys. This is a different year than Romo. I think if Romo was the quarterback, he might not win. I'm going with the Cowboys. I think they're going to the Super Bowl. This is the year. This is the team of destiny. It's meant to be Patriots and Cowboys, and I think I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. This game really could be a shootout. This has the potential to be a shootout.
This game is gonna be so fun to watch.
It's gonna be a fun game to watch. I'm going with the Cowboys, 38-34.
Well, I mean, I can't disagree with you.
38-34.
I can't disagree with you. I guess we're going to split our picks here. We're going to go half and half. I got to agree. How do I say this? Since the playoffs started, I just haven't found a team that I thought was dangerous enough to beat the Cowboys in Dallas after this year being so prolific for them. I've always been scared of having 2 rookies be the centerpiece of an offense. And you said it a couple weeks ago. No rookie quarterback has ever won a Super Bowl.
Been to the Super Bowl.
I mean, this is the year. This is the year that I think a lot of stuff changes. I think this is the year where we get to see the Dallas Cowboys take a step. And it's the great thing about it is that, look, and I don't even want to bring this scenario to you because it sucks, because if I was a Jets fan and you were telling me this.
I'm getting nervous just talking about this, Albert. I'm waiting for this game. I'm nervous.
If the Packers do win this game, this season has proven one thing about the Dallas Cowboys is that they have one of the brightest futures in football right now.
I don't care
but
about
I
that.
think
This is all about
year
this season.
is the year for them. I think I'm predicting that the Seahawks are going to win. I don't think the Seahawks. I think that the Packers hold a better chance of beating the Cowboys than the Seahawks do. I think that the Packers hold a better chance of beating the Cowboys than the Falcons do. But I think at the end of the day, home field advantage. Fresh. Everybody on that team is fresh. Zeke is fresh.
Crowd's going to be into it.
The crowd's going to be going nuts. It's going to be such a fun game.
We got to get to Rodgers. We got to get to Rodgers, man. If he gets out of that pocket, he's so scary, man. The guy's the guy is. You can make a case he's the best quarterback in football.
I mean,
Brady's there, but you can make a case he's the best all-around quarterback in
football. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. It's I mean, the elite. There is the level of elites, and it's guys like Brady and guys like Aaron Rodgers and guys like Drew Brees who are just they've proven over and over again that they know how to win in big situations. I mean, it's a shame for a guy like Drew Brees that he's never had a defense.
And also let's see how the football guys treat us because of what happened 2 years ago with the catch. That was a catch. Let's see what they do.
I'm not arguing this.
We need that's all. Listen, I'm not just saying it. I don't know if we ever spoke about this. It was a catch. I hate the rule. The guy caught the ball, took 3 steps, and reached for the end zone. It was a ridiculous call. Okay, I think they changed the rule a little because of that.
Look, my thing is that whether it was
I don't
or
like
whether
completing when you go to the ground. The guy caught the ball and took 3 steps, and reached for the end zone.
The NFL.
It should have been a fumble and a recovery. That's what I think.
The NFL. I don't understand how. One of the main plays in football is throwing the ball and a guy catching it, and the NFL can't define what that is. They don't have a definitive answer of what a catch is, and that bothers me.
Yeah.
But look, putting all that aside,
I hope that doesn't come down to that again.
Listen,
watch the same thing happen this week with Dez. Same thing.
Look, if that's the case, let's hope they actually do rule to catch for your sake.
Yeah.
So that's it. So we're both picking the Cowboys. So we're gonna look a little bit ahead. Our AFC. Not look ahead. We're gonna go with our picks. So you pick the Steelers over the Chiefs.
Yes.
And I pick the Chiefs over the Steelers.
Yes.
We both picked the Texans, right?
Oh yeah, we're going Texans all the way.
Yeah, Texans all the way.
They're winning the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
They're winning the Super Bowl. Who's going to stop the Texans?
Brock Osweiler.
Wait. Forget about who's going to stop the Patriots? Who's going to stop the Texans?
Nobody's going to stop the Texans.
Yeah.
That's who it is.
Exactly.
It's so bad. I feel bad if anybody who's a Texans fan is actually listening to this. But
like I said,
they have to know. Like how much?
Listen.
Look, I was a Jets fan going up against the Patriots in the playoffs.
It's just disturbing because it's not fair. I'm telling you, the Patriots.
Any team who plays the Patriots, it's not.
Brady's
going
to have at least 3 touchdowns in the first half. They're going to go up 28-0. Just watch.
God, I'm telling you, 37-0. That's my prediction. 37-0 Patriots.
Okay.
You're going with the Falcons, and I'm going with the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And we're both going with the Cowboys. Look, honestly, I cannot wait to watch all 4 of these games. 3 of these games, because one of them is just going to be...
I'm excited. I just want to see what the Patriots actually are going to do to the Texans.
We're
talking now. Listen, everybody can make this prediction. Analysts, NFL analysts, they're all probably saying the same thing we are. But watch it be like a close game, you know?
I would love that. I would love it. I absolutely would love it. I would love if the Texans hung around. Listen, I am a Jets fan, so nothing would actually make me happier. If the Texans wound up somehow beating the Patriots.
Who doesn't want like a Texans and Falcons Super Bowl?
Oh no, I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
I only wish that the Seahawks would have lost to the Lions, so we could have had a Texans-Lions Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, that would have been great.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it could be an all-Texas Super Bowl, Cowboys and Texans.
Hey, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that either at all.
Of course you wouldn't mind.
But I want the Patriots, man. Bring on the Patriots. Screw them.
Well, we're gonna get into that next week when we're gonna come back and we're gonna do this.
We'll see whose predictions. Listen, we're going against each other.
Yeah,
a lot here. Well, 2 of them.
We got half the games we're agreeing on, half the games we're not.
I'm not confident that much in the Steelers in my pick, but I'm pretty confident in the Falcons. I really am.
Look,
I am.
I'm not supremely confident in the Chiefs
Seahawks have
either.
The Earl Thomas loss is just huge, and they're not the same team on the road. That's what I'm going by. And the Falcons are great at home, and their offense is great at home.
Look, the thing is that I think that I've just been watching a lot of the Chiefs because I had 5 fantasy leagues, and Travis Kelce was my tight end in every fantasy league. So I've watched a lot of the Chiefs this year, and there's just a lot of stuff about that team just impresses me. And I think they have a really good chance at home of beating the Steelers. But I honestly believe that the Seahawks have the advantage over the Falcons.
I disagree with you there. I really do.
It's playoff pedigree, and I just think like in certain games I think it matters, and in this is a game where I think it matters.
You're more confident in the Seahawks against the Falcons, and
you're more confident in the Falcons against the Seahawks.
Yeah, and then the Steelers, I'm not that confident, and you're not that confident in the Chiefs. I'm not so confident.
Overly confident in the Chiefs, no, but I do think they can win.
Okay, yeah, they definitely can.
Well, there it is. That's our predictions for next week. We're gonna come back here next week, and we're gonna run down what happened on the big playoff games this week.
Cowboys Falcons AFC Championship game.
I
don't care who they play. I just Cowboys win.
4 huge games this week. And, man, it's just the most exciting time.
I've been waiting a month for this. For the Cowboys. They've been playing for nothing. Let's go. Oh, I'm so pumped up. I'm like, oh, you see me. I really am.
It's true. I wish we had a video camera in here, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was another edition of the Opening Whistle. Again, if you guys want to know when we're dropping our next one, hit us up at the Slam Sessions on podcast. Again, at the Slam Sessions on Twitter. And again, at Avi Schiffman 88 on Twitter. Be nice. He's new. Make sure you're nice to him. All right, so that's the end of it. This has been the Opening Whistle. I'm Albert Albanese.
And I'm Avi Schiffman.
And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening to the Opening Whistle, which is a part of the Slam Sessions Podcast Network. You can find us on Twitter at the Slam Sessions. We'll see you guys next time.